I am Cliff Stevenson. I'm the principal analyst for workforce management and talent acquisition here at Brandon Hall Group, and I am joined today by Nick Hutchinson, head of talent acquisition at Saba.
Hi, Cliff. Pleasure to be here. How you doing?
Pretty good. I know that you're about 5 hours ahead, so I guess it really isn't morning where you're at.
No, that's right. The sun's just gone down. It's winter's afternoon in the UK, about 4:15, and it's dark already. So, but never mind.
All right.
I still feel nice and fresh like it is morning. That's the main thing.
That's right. Fair enough. So we've got a few things we'll be talking about today, but I wanted to start out by just diving right into a topic that you and I discussed quite a bit, which is the concept of the candidate experience, which has become a pretty hot topic. It's something we're seeing a lot of out there, specifically as the sort of way it fits into the whole broader concept of the employee experience. And I think it's very key, right? I mean, for very obvious reasons, it's what kind of starts the employee experience, right? It's how the people first get involved in the culture of their company, of where they're going. And I think that there's a lot of different ways that it sort of fits in. So I wanted to ask you, Nick, I mean, you've been involved in this. What are those sort of key inflection points? What are those early moments that happen in the employee experience that make it the candidate experience, that make it so important to any person coming into the organization, and how it affects their, whole concept of how they view the organization they're going to?
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got to remember that all of our employees start as candidates, right? So everyone that's an employee now or an employee in the future, hopefully it's going to be with your organization for many years to come, starts off as a candidate. And I think what's absolutely vital is that candidate experience needs to begin from the moment someone starts engaging with your organization, or importantly, the moment they start engaging about your organization. We tend to think very much about the candidate experience starting when somebody lands on the career site, when they start to make an application, but often it starts a lot earlier than that. And what I mean by that is it can start, in a bar, in a conversation, when they're shopping in the retail store and they bump into an old ex-colleague, and it's like, hi Jim, how you doing now? What you up to? I haven't seen you in a couple of years when we were working back at such and such an organization. And Jim says, well, you know what? Things have moved on quite a bit. I've joined this new company. And straight away then, Jim is starting to really make an introduction to that person who hasn't thought about being a candidate yet. But he's starting to tell them about the company that he's working for. They have similar experience and similar backgrounds. And, let's face it, if the employee's experience isn't good, and they're not engaged with the organization, they're not having the right type of development, they're not going to start speaking highly about your company. And that person in the shopping mall isn't going to go back and sit down and think, oh, you know what? I might just check them out. I might start having a look into that organization. I've been just thinking about making a move now. Perhaps it's time for me to move on. And I think that's what's really important is, when we start thinking about candidate experience and employee experience, actually it can start even before that individual starts engaging with your career site and considering making an application.
Yeah, what you just described, right, is what we talk about when we say employer brand, and that's a much better way, a much better description of it. It sounds a little dry sometimes when we talk about branding and employer brands, but that's what you really mean, right? We talk about how people feel about an organization.
Yeah, absolutely. And for that candidate, they might even be an existing customer of your organization as well. So we need, you need to start from day one, making sure that the experience they go through is the right one.
Yes, you're exactly right about that, Nick. And the research backs you up. We asked in our candidate experience survey about when people thought the most impactful point in candidate experience was. When I looked at those companies, and I looked specifically at those with above average growth and retention and offer acceptance, and they said it was during the application experience at 39% of them, which was far and away the highest amount. So I think that's a great sign off on this particular audio blog. And I want you all to be sure to check out the other ones in this candidate experience series. Other topics we're going to be covering include the importance of looking at the internal candidate experience, retaining top talent that you've hired and developed, and top priorities organizations are looking for in their recruiting technology. So thank you all for joining us on this audio blog. And Nick, thank you for joining us, and talk to you all soon.